Folks, last week one of my buddies sent me a link to this camera, not even a review, just an announcement of it. And so this is a SereneLife, and it says Action Cam. The article that I went and read, which looked like it was on a reputable website, but who knows, said that this would do 4K at 120 frames per second. I am super skeptical. It's the first thing I've ever bought that I've been more skeptical than hopeful when I bought it. I really don't think that's right. I mean, I've gone, I've looked, but you know, someone else sent an email over to a person, and then they forwarded email back to me because I was skeptical of it. Anyway, I don't see how you could do 4K at 120 frames per second. I think maybe it must do 4K at some frame rate, and then something else at 120 frames per second, maybe 720p, maybe 480p. But anyway, it says SereneLife SLDV4K, and it says Wi-Fi camera, it says 1080p. Over here. So, you know, there's all kind of mixed signals with this action cam. It's only like 79 bucks. So here's the deal. Am I throwing money away on this? I don't know. I'm going to check this out. For 79 bucks, what can you get these days? I don't know. I paid like $4.99 for my GoPro Hero4 Black. What was it? Almost 2 years ago, year and a half ago. I can't even remember how long ago it was. But it says HYPE 4K cam, whatever that means. Waterproof case. Wireless remote control, data transfer, charging cable, I guess a USB cable, handlebar mount, universal base mount, adjustable support clip, and fastening strap. I'm not a big fan of unboxing videos, so I will do this really quickly just to show you what's in there. Pull it open, there we go. Yeah, I will say this, it looks like it's packed pretty well. I mean, the box is quite nice and it looks stylish. You know, honestly, folks, if this is a quarter as good as my GoPro, it'll still be a worthy little thing to have bought. So I'm really, like I say, skeptical about it. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it's roughly the same size as a GoPro. As you can see here, it has the same sort of thing on the bottom that a GoPro would have. Piece of plastic over the back there. Case seems very nice. Roughly the same sort of functionality that a GoPro would have. You just pull it back, looks like. Pull this open, there you go. Here's the $79 action cam. See if it'll come out of there. It doesn't appear to want to. Looks like it's got a monitor on the back. Huh. It is really stuck in there. Okay, it's got a, no. Huh. There we go. Just had to pull it well enough. So there you go, folks. That's what it looks like. It actually looks quite good. It looks like this is a mic on front. I don't think it's stereo, unless that is a stereo mic, unless there are two mics in there. But look, there's this on top. Maybe this is a mic as well. I don't know. I don't think, unless one of these is a speaker. So we have the mode button on the front, two lights, and it looks like a record button up top. This would, I think, be something you'd segue through menus with, perhaps. You've got a monitor on back, so it's like a GoPro Silver, isn't it? I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off. And over here we have the USB, and it's not a regular USB, it's one of the mini USBs, and here's where your card's gonna go. Let's see what else is in here. There's the camera, the blue piece of paper will move, the case for it. Let's open it all up, take a peek. And here are the accessories. Check that out, there's a nice, decent handlebar mount. It's not rubberized or anything, but I guess that would work. You know, just so if you're gonna put it on your bike or motorcycle or whatever. I guess that would be wristband. Maybe, can't remember what it said on there. There's another strap for it of some sort. There's the USB power cable. So there you go. So you've got your cable that you need to power it, to charge it up with, which I will do here shortly. Here is the mount. Now this is interesting. There's no sticky on this. Look at this. This comes with even a little suction mount, and that looks pretty nice, folks. It's very small. We'll try that out and see if that's pretty stout, though. I'll put it on my car and just windshield and see if that would hold pretty well. Yeah, it's cool that it comes with that, isn't it? We can always use one of those for those of us who are GoPro fans. It comes with a remote. Looks like it's got, let's open it up and take a look at it. So there is a battery for the remote. And so it looks like the remote has a record, a take a picture, and a shoot a video button there. Check that out. Yeah, it comes with one of those things, which I should use but never do. And it comes with a booklet. And so I'm going to have to get, what I'll do, I'll use the same SD card that I've used with my GoPro Hero4 Black Edition, because it's a pretty fast card. It never has given me trouble. So we'll put that in this thing and we'll test it out. Now look, it's interesting that the picture on the book does not look like the picture here, does it? I mean, it is, you can see it's the same thing, but we've got we've got SereneLife action here. We got 4K Ultra HD on the front of this, although it does say SereneLife. So, all right, folks, that's the unboxing. Let's go ahead and see what it does. Before I go to power this up, I am going to say one thing. If there's a weakness right away, it's how do you get this little battery thing off for the battery? I know it's not got a battery on the outside here, but I wanted to take a look at it, just peep at it, see what kind of battery it had. You pull this down, and there's no way to grab this battery. It's like it's flush right on the bottom. I don't know how I'm going to get that off unless I take some kind of something I can. My nail will not even fit down in there. If I pull this back, will it pop off? Will it? It is like super difficult to get that battery out. I just wanted to peep at it. Just so you'll know, you pull the little thing this way, away from the battery, and then I had to take a knife, the tip of this knife, and just barely grab in there and pull it off, and that's the way you get this thing off. And so that's the little cover for the battery. And here's the battery. Got a little tab here. Let's see if it's like a GoPro battery. It's not, I don't know. What is that like? I have some GoPro batteries. I'll check it against it. It does say that this is a 3.8 volt lithium ion battery, 1150 mAh, 4.37 WH. I never know what those things mean, but we're going to find out what kind of battery life we get with it too. Okay, so I've plugged that to my computer. It's making my computer make some funky sounds. Listen to this. Like it's connecting, not connecting. We got a little red light there that I guess shows that it's charging. I'm probably going to have to undo this from my computer. It's just making my computer go haywire here, the sound. Maybe you should, charge it with a cell phone charger. Okay, so folks, so I went out in my garden. I shot some video in my bedroom, shot some photos with it. I went through the settings. First of all, let me say it does not do 4K at 120 frames per second, just as I suspected. It does 4K at 30, and it's a sort of a weird 4K. It's 3,800 pixels by 1,800 pixels, I believe. That is not the same 4K that I'm used to editing in Adobe Premiere, so interesting. I mean, it's pretty good resolution. How does the video look? Let me rate it. First of all, let me talk about the pictures, because it does like up to 16 megabit pictures, megabit pictures, and it is a mushy mess, the pictures are. I hate the GoPro quality of the photos. I think GoPro does 12 megabit or 12 megapixel images. This one does 16. It's even worse than the GoPros. The pictures do not look good. I'll show some of that on the screen. So I'm assuming that each frame of the video is the same sort of quality that the pictures are. However, watching it as video, it's not nearly as bad. It does a good job with auto white balance. The color's not terrible. The clarity's not great. The audio is very poor. When I opened up the file and looked at the 4K video from this and checked it, first of all, I'll say this: I could not open it on my Mac. When I took the card out of my GoPro and put it in this one, it required me to reformat, which I did. There's nothing on there. And so, of course, if you're going to use your GoPro, it'll erase anything that's on your GoPro card, so be careful with that. Put it in it, reformatted it, shot some video, shot some photos. The Mac would not open it. And I had the latest, greatest, butt-kickingest Mac. I mean, I just bought it maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. But I went to my PC, and the PC read the card just fine. And so the photos don't look great. The video looks pretty good. I will say this, it's less fisheye than the GoPro. Okay, so here are both of the cameras side by side. I'm actually holding them one up against the other. I may have my finger over part of the GoPro's microphone, I don't know. Just wanted you to kind of see what the difference in video is here. Walking around my garden a bit. Sage or whatever the mess this stuff is here that needs to growing. I'll show you how close up looks. How the GoPro focuses versus how the I'm now growing some spinach in containers because the weeds just got too crazy, and looks like it's doing really well. asparagus ferns here. We had an awesome season with grapes. This is just my initial first impressions. Is on a scale of 1 to 10, if a GoPro is, I don't know, a 9 or an 8.5, because it does look pretty good, the GoPro. There's a lot of fisheye there on your 4K though. But if a GoPro is that, then this is about a 6, 5 to 6, honestly. But not terrible for 79 bucks compared to $499 for my Hero4 Black. I don't even know what the silver is going for now, or just the regular GoPro. But you know, my impression is this is not awful. It is pretty cool having this on the back. What happens when you start recording, within 30 seconds, this goes blank though. So this is really just for your setup pretty much. I mean, it'll go blank, but you can click the top again and it will come back up. It's just saving battery, I guess, is what it does. But eventually, after 30 seconds or so, you don't see what's on here. You have to click this again, then it comes back up. It does not stop recording. It keeps on recording while it's blanked out. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to check and see if there's some way to improve the audio. Does it record better than, I can't remember what the bit rate was. I'll show you, it's on the screen over here. I did a screen capture. So first impression is, for 79 bucks, it's a pretty good piece of gear. Compared to a GoPro, you're not going to get nearly the quality. You're not going to get, the other thing too is, Truth in Advertising, the blog that I went to and looked at, it really led you to believe this thing would do 4K 120 frames per second. The other email one of my friends sent said that it was 4K 120 frames per second. He'd gone and done some research. No, it will do 720p at 120 frames per second. It will do 2.7K, it does 1080p, and various different frame rates, 1080p at 60 frames per second. The 4K is 30, I think the 2.7 is 30 as well. Actually, it says in the manual is all the crap. It doesn't match up a whole lot with what this is. So, some pretty awkward wording. I can't remember what it was it said to do to get the battery out. It had some funny things that it said there. Anyway, I'm not going to waste anyone else's time. You can get this. It's not a bad deal for 79 bucks. I'll still have some fun with it. I'll mess around with it some. It's just not going to be one of my go-to cameras, I can tell you that. The other thing that's interesting, they give you nice little accessories. That's pretty cool. When you put this on here, though, it's a much stiffer kind of piece of plastic than what you're used to with your GoPro. So I heard it just a little bit. I was afraid I was going to break it as I was putting it in. It's hard to get it in there, actually. And then when you get it in, you can't get your card out. It doesn't have a hole there for the card. So that's one weakness that I found, apart from the fact I couldn't make it work with my Mac. And you know, the quality's not awesome, but it's not terrible. Again, pretty cool. SereneLife Action. Get one if you want to. If you're on a really tight budget, it's not awful. It's just not great. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe if you like.